Hello students, welcome back to Agriculture Form 3. We are still on crop production, and our next topic which we are going to discuss on crop production is mushroom production. This is another interesting topic. We are going to learn more on how we can be cropping mushroom. It is possible to crop mushroom nowadays, so it's also one of the business which is trending on the market. So be with me as we go through this topic. But on our today's lesson, there are several objectives which we are going to go through on mushroom production. But for today's lesson, we're just going to learn part of mushroom production. And after studying this lesson, you should be able to describe mushrooms. You should be able to describe mushrooms. On the description, we're going to look in terms of parts of mushroom, the life cycle of mushroom. And also you should also be able to identify cultivated species of mushroom. And later on, we're also going to look on the importances of mushroom production. Why are we into mushroom production? So be with me as we go through this lesson. Mushrooms are fungi or non-green plants that grow on dead, decaying matter. And this mushroom is a tightly interwoven mass of hyphae. They produce asexually through spores. It forms from the fusion of hyphae from two different mating hyphae from two different mating types. So we have haploid spores which are produced on the hyphae lining the gills of the mushroom. So in short, this is what we call the mushroom. On the picture, we have the structure of the mushroom, how it looks. It looks like. In case some of us we have never seen a mushroom, so this is how it looks like. Now let us look on the mushroom life cycle. Mushroom life cycle. So for the mushroom life cycle, it starts with the spores. The fully grown mushroom will produce the spores. Of course, these spores, they are in form of powder. They are in powder form. So those spores, they are the ones which will germinate. They are the ones which will germinate. So first of all, the spores will grow into hyphae. The spores will grow into hyphae. Then the hyphae will meet. The two hyphae will meet and combine. So once the two hyphae meet and combine, that will create mycelium. That will create mycelium. So we start with the spores which are produced by the mature mushroom. Then once the spores will grow into hyphae, the two hyphae they will combine, forming or creating mycelium. So another stage is mycelium. From mycelium, it forms primordia. It forms primordia. So this is another stage of the life cycle of the mushroom, primordia formation. Then later on, the fruit body will start coming out. Then it forms a mature, a fully grown mushroom. So we are saying a fully grown mushroom will produce the spores, and those spores will grow into the hyphae. The two hyphae, once they meet, they will form or create mycelium. Then mycelium will form primordia. We call it primordia mushroom. So from primordial mushroom, then the fruit body will come out later on, forming a fully or mature mushroom. So that's the life cycle of the mushroom. Let us now look on the parts of mushroom. A mushroom has two main parts. We have what we call mycelium and sporophyte, or the fruit. So we're saying the mushroom is divided into two main parts, mycelium as well as sporophyte, or the fruit. So this lower part, if you can see from the picture here, the lower part is the mycelium we are talking about. Then the upper part, this whole upper part is the sporophyte. Sometimes we call it the fruit. Sometimes we call it the fruit. So let's start with the mycelium, the lower part. Remember, this is the part that is always underground. Mycelium is the part that is always underground, and it is a source of food for the growing mushroom. Mycelium is the source of food for the growing mushroom. And this mycelium can live for hundreds of years if it gets enough food. So if mycelium gets enough food, can live for hundreds of years. I think you can agree with me, for those people who have ever observed the mushroom which grows at the bush. You found out that there are certain sites where the same type of mushroom they will grow. This will just show that there are mycelium down there, and whenever the time is convenient, they'll grow into the mushroom. So these mycelium, once they have enough food, they can stay down there on the ground hundreds of years. So when it is convenient, then the fruit will be coming out on the same mycelium. Then let us look on the other part. We are done with the mycelium part. Let's look on the other part of mushroom, which is sporophyte. This part lives for only a few days. Once the mushroom grows into the upper part, which is the sporophyte, it only survives for few days, as it can easily go bad. Once it has grown into a fruit, the mushroom has grown into the fruit part, which is the sporophyte, will only survive for a few days. So this is the upper part of the mushroom. Sporophyte is the upper part of the mushroom, and it is made up of the stalk, the cap, gills, spores, vulva, as well as the ring. So these parts, they are the ones which will make sporophyte. So each and every part under sporophyte has its own function. Each and every part of the fruit or of the sporophyte plays a function. So let us go through on each and every part of the mushroom and what's the function. Let's start with the stalk. Sometimes it is known as the stipe or the stem. This is the stipe, the stalk, or the stem. So the function of the stalk is that it supports the cap. It supports this upper part, the cap. Apart from that, it absorbs a lot of water and it grows very quickly. So the stalk absorbs a lot of water. That is from the water will come from mycelium, and it goes to the stalk. So this stalk it is sponge-like, so it absorbs a lot of water. And once that is done, it grows very quickly. Then we have this other part, the cap. This is the cap. So what's the function? A cap forms the umbrella-shaped area of a mushroom, and the main function of the cap is to protect the gills of the mushroom. So the cap protects the gills of the mushroom. What about the gills? These are the gills. Gills are located under the cap and produces the spores and is very fertile. So the main function of the gills are to produce the spores. They are there to produce the spores. Remember, on the life cycle of the mushroom, we mentioned the spores is one of the stage. So these spores are produced from the gills. Another part of the mushroom which is very important is the spores. These are they are in the powder form. These spores, these dots you are seeing from the picture, they are the spores. They are in powdery form. So these are tiny seed-like. These are tiny seed-like, and they are the reproductive part of the mushroom. The spores are the reproductive part of the mushroom. Remember, we are saying that these spores are on the life cycle of the mushroom. Once the spores have been produced, those spores will turn into hypha. And once the two hypha combine, they will form mycelium. So it all starts from the spores. So they are the reproductive part of a mushroom, and they are released into the air, then fall on the ground and develop a new mushroom. Then we have the vulva. We have the vulva. This is the remains of the membrane that covers a young mushroom after they are broken. So the vulva is the membrane. This membrane, remember on the stages of the mushroom, the life cycle of the mushroom, from the spores, it goes to mycelium. Then remember we mentioned of primordial mushroom. Primordial mushroom, it looks like a small ball coming out from the soil. It looks like a small ball coming out from the soil. So that small ball coming out from the soil, which is primordial mushroom, it is engulfed in the membrane. It is engulfed in the membrane. So once that primordial mushroom grows into the fruit body, then that membrane breaks. That membrane breaks. So once that membrane breaks, that membrane is located at the lower part of the stem or of the stalk. So that is the vulva we are talking about. So we're saying the vulva, this is the remains of the membrane that cover a young mushroom after they are broken. So they are located at the lower part of the stipe. Then we have the ring. The ring is also the membrane, and this membrane is located at the upper part of the stipe. So we have two membranes. We have the membrane at the lower part of the stem. Then we also have the membrane at the upper part of the stem. So the membrane at the lower part of the stem is the vulva, and the membrane at the upper part of the stem is the ring. And this membrane, which is the ring, most of the times is the membrane which will cover the gills when the mushroom is still young. So there are two membranes which will cover the mushroom. The membrane which will cover the whole mushroom at primordial stage, and there is also a membrane which will cover the gill more especially when the fruit is just coming out. So that membrane which will cover the gill is the ring. After we are done on the parts of the mushroom, let us now look on the cultivated species of the mushroom. Here in Malawi, maybe most of us will have just seen the mushroom growing from the bush, but nowadays it is possible to cultivate the mushroom. So there are special species of mushroom which are cultivated. So let's discuss onto details on these special species of mushroom which can be cultivated, more especially here in Malawi. So there are two types of mushroom that are grown, that are commonly grown here in Malawi. We have oyster mushrooms. We have oyster mushrooms. It is very versatile and relatively easy to grow. And when you are growing them, they will require low input. So there is low input requirement for oyster mushroom. And it is suitable within the temperature ranges of 15 to 30 degrees Celsius. Most of the mushroom species, they grow better at low temperatures, at low to medium temperatures. But for oyster, they can grow even up to 30 degrees Celsius. So it means these oyster mushroom, they can grow in most of the areas. And oyster mushrooms, they grow better on most lignin-cellulosic agricultural and forestry waste. So they can grow on any forest waste. Apart from that, most of the substrates require pasteurization to give high yields. So if we are onto oyster mushroom production, make sure that the substrates where you are going to grow the mushroom should be pasteurized in order for us to attain a high yield. Another common cultivated species of mushroom is button mushroom. Button mushroom. These button mushroom, they are mostly in two varieties, or the two varieties are the ones which are recommended for us to grow. We have TNS1 as well as TNS2. For TNS1 requires a cropping temperature of 16 to 20 degrees Celsius, and it is white in color. It is white in color. And the potential yield is about 15 kg per square meter. So every square meter you can harvest up to 15 kgs. Then we have TNS2. This requires a cropping temperature of 18 to 22 degrees Celsius, and it is somehow bigger than TNS1. It is also white and is scary, and its potential yield is also about 15 kgs per square meter. So these varieties, meaning button varieties, these can be best grown during March and July. Why March and July? This time is where the temperature is a little bit low. As you can see, the temperature ranges is between 16 up to 20 degrees Celsius. So here in Malawi, these months are between March to July. They are the ones which at least we receive low temperature. We have low temperature. So since button mushroom at least they will grow better at low temperature, it means the recommended time for us to grow button mushroom should be between March and July. Why are we bothered discussing on the importance, on mushroom production? Mushrooms are very, very important. They are very important. So let us go through on the importances of mushroom. One of the most important importance of mushroom is it is there as source of food. It is there as source of food. So our mushroom can be cleaned, then turned into food. Food as in form of relish. Sometimes we can make pizza out of mushroom. Some of us, I think we have ever tasted a mushroom pizza. Mushroom pizza, so tasty, so yummy. So it is a source of food. From mushroom, we can get proteins, we can get vitamins, we can get minerals from mushroom. So this is very, very important, as proteins are there for growth and vitamins and minerals, they are there to protect us from different diseases, as most of the diseases they are due to lack of vitamins and minerals. So from mushroom we can get proteins, they are also rich in vitamins as well as minerals. Apart from that, another importance of mushroom is that they are there for economic value. They are there for economic value. These mushroom, they are as source of raw materials. They are source of raw materials. From mushroom, we can make mushroom powder. We can make chutney out of mushroom. We can even make biscuits from mushroom. Have you ever tasted of mushroom soup? We can make soup out of mushroom. We can make sausages. We can make noodles out of mushroom. So these are source of raw materials, meaning we can process them into various products. We can process them into various products, and out of that, it means we can get cash out of that. Apart from that, it can just be a source of income for growers, as we can just sell this mushroom, the fresh mushroom, direct, whether processed or fresh one, we can sell them direct to the consumers. So it is source of income for growers and therefore reducing poverty. Apart from that, can be source of foreign exchange. Can be source of foreign exchange. If we can produce this mushroom in abundance, there will be enough to feed the nation, then the extra can be sold outside the country. So we can process them into powder, chutney, or just candy mushroom, then we can sell them outside the country. They get our mushroom, we get their dollars. Apart from that, under economic value, the mushroom can also be source of employment. Can be source of employment. So employment can be attained on several stages. At a growing stage, let's say if you are growing them in abundance, it means you need several mushroom houses, and those mushroom houses cannot be run by a single person. You need helpers to help you in terms of constructing or taking care of the mushroom. So it means people can be employed. At the end of the day, they will get something out of that. And also employment can be when you are transporting those products from the production point to the now to supply to the consumers. So those who will be involved in transporting the mushroom products, they'll get money out of that. So it can also be the source of employment on that way. And also remember, we're saying these mushroom, they are source of raw materials. It means they can be processed. So there are also industries which are into processing mushroom. So those industries, they cannot be run by a single person. There are several people who are employed in those industries. So it can also be a source of employment in that way. So these are the importance of mushroom under economic value. And also another importance of mushroom is our on medicinal value. On medicinal value. So mushroom can be used to cure diseases like hepatitis. And they are also anti-diabetic, they are anti-tumor, they are antiviral, they are also anti-cancer. And these mushrooms are also used in the production of antibiotic medicine. So on the picture here, there is a medicinal mushroom here in form of a drink. So they'll make a drink out of mushroom and it can cure many diseases. And just by taking this raw mushroom or as in form of food, if you are taking it, remember we have also mentioned that it is rich in protein. So some of the diseases which attack humans, they are due to lack of proteins. So if you just take mushroom, it means you prevent from these diseases. And also they are rich in vitamins as well as minerals. If you cannot, most of the diseases which we are suffering, they are due to lack of vitamins as well as minerals. So just by taking these mushroom as food, you can be able, apart from satisfying the hunger, you can also be able to eliminate the diseases or just prevent those diseases. So that's it on the importance of mushroom. So that makes the end of our lesson today. That was mushroom part 1. Here we have defined the meaning of the term mushroom. We have also looked on the structure of the mushroom, the parts, the function. We have also looked on the life cycle of the mushroom. Remember, it all starts from the spores. The spores germinating into hypha. Once the hypha combine, they form mycelium. Mycelium turning into primordial mushroom, then later on into the mature mushroom fruit. So if they are, apart from that, we have also looked on the importances of mushroom as economic importance, source of food. We have also said that the mushroom is medicinal value. So if you have further questions, you can visit the WhatsApp number or you can just visit Xulendo line for more details. And you can also use these resources. These resources were the ones which we have used to come up with this lesson. So you can check on these resources so that you enrich yourself with much knowledge on mushroom production. You were with me, G. Maowa, as usual, as your agriculture teacher, Form 3. Until we meet next on our next lesson, goodbye.